Hello, I'm Jerrel Dulay from Sungrand. I make the Silver Falls games. And today I just wanted to check in and let you know how things are going on development of the games and talk a little bit about game design. So, Nintendo is currently processing White Inside Its Umbra for the Wii U, Ghoul Busters for the 3DS, and Undertakers for the Wii U. I'm finishing up Guardians and Metal Exterminators right now, so hopefully I will be able to submit that by the end of the week, and Nintendo can have that to get through their system. So things are going well with development. I am feeling the strain of having developed 7 games in such a short period, and again, I want each game to be the best that it can be. I want each game to be a way to celebrate the end of support for the Wii U and 3DS. So hopefully these 7 games really send the Wii U and 3DS off with a big bang. So with the title of the video, is my new game going to suck? Well, something that is important to every game is that there is an appeal to the game. That may not be something that every developer actively puts thought into, and it may be something that developers put a ton of thought into. And when I say appeal for a game, I mean that your game, will people actually like the game, and why would people actually like the game? So when it comes to the appeal of a game, the appeal is going to come from either of two places. It's either going to be the concept of the game or the content of the game. So when I say concept, if a game, say for example, if you were to describe a game as you start the game, you control one character, you explore the world, you recruit other characters, and you make those characters stronger by fighting monsters and increasing or upgrading your equipment, getting you equipment, and teaching those character skills. You probably know what kind of game I've just described. That would be an RPG. If I said your character starts from the left side of the screen, they walk to the right side of the screen, they have to jump over things, they have to not get killed by enemies and not fall down holes. I've described the concept of the game. You know exactly what kind of game that is. That's a side-scroller game. So that would be the concept of the game. Now, when it comes to the concept of the game, it's a tricky situation because if you rely solely on concepts that have already been established, if you're just copying what other games have done and you're not doing anything differently, then there's no appeal when it comes to the concept of the game. So if you don't have appeal from the concept, there has to be appeal from the content of the game. So that means your graphics, your music, your level design, your characters, your story. That would be the content. So a game should have appeal that either focuses on an interesting concept that's new, that's interesting, or content that's very high quality and has high volume as well. Games that work very well tend to have both interesting concept and good content, amount of content, the presentation of content. Say, for example, Breath of the Wild. Now, in terms of the concept, it's not 100% new and unique. There are other games that have done that concept already. What Breath of the Wild does is it introduces new elements into that. For example, the way that you can go straight to the final boss in Breath of the Wild, and you can try to fight the boss directly. The way that the players are able to collect resources and items and go to the divine beasts and power up their hero. That's a concept. And now the content of the game, there's a lot of it. The presentation is fantastic, the music is beautiful, the story is easy to understand. Breath of the Wild has a huge amount of appeal because the content and the concept are appealing. You'll often find games, even if you don't actively understand why you aren't enjoying them, it is likely because you personally don't connect with the content, you don't like the content, or the concept itself is not interesting to you. So when I am developing games, I am actively throughout the entire phase, even when I'm starting at the conceptual phase, I need to make sure the concept itself is very interesting. You will never ever see Sungrand develop a game where it is a concept that's already been done before. I'm not interested in making a game that other people have already made before. My concepts will always have something interesting and unique in them, and that's very important to me. So even throughout the entire development process, I'm constantly refining the concept to make sure that it is interesting. But there's a major worry for me as a developer, especially when I get towards the end of development and around 80 to 90%, I'm still asking myself, uh-oh, is this game boring? Is this concept boring? And sometimes I don't feel comfortable with a project until about the final. When I get to the 95% mark, the game is pretty much done. I get through testing. I have testers with me. Usually it's not until the 5% where I feel comfortable and I feel confident in saying, okay, the concept is good, the concept is interesting. So even throughout the entire process, I'm refining and fine-tuning the concept to make sure that it is good enough. I'm constantly making sure the volume of content is good enough as well. And that's something that as a developer, I'm consciously aware of that. So if you are just getting started in game development, I often get messages from people that are just starting in game development asking for advice. So if you'd like some help, go ahead, feel free to send me a DM. You can comment, and I'm happy to help out. That is something that you can consider when you are getting into game design, is if you're creating a game and you want it to have appeal, try and think about those things. Is the appeal of your game going to come from the concept? Will it be from the content? Or will it be both? That's it for today. I'll check in again soon as I'm developing the Silver Falls titles, and I'll let you know how development on those things are going. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Thank you for checking in today, and we'll see you around.